So far, we've been talking about simple interest and compound interest. And now one of the things that people are really interested in sometime is saying, how long would it take me to actually double my money? So doubling your money, there's a quick and simple estimation. It's called the rule of 72. And this is a way to talk about how long it would take to double your money at a certain interest rate. So the rule of 72 is basically a simple formula. And this will be one of the simplest lessons in this unit. The years it takes to double your investment is just taking 72 and dividing it by the interest rate as a percent. There's no need to convert it to a decimal. So the best thing to do is just look at this through some examples. So example number 5, as it says here, it says approximately how long will it take an investment of $5,000 invested at a rate of 3.75% per annum. Remember, that just means per year, compounded annually, to double in value. Now, for the rule of 72, it doesn't matter how much money we're investing. If I invested $1 or if I invested $5,000, it's going to take the same amount of time to actually double the investment. So if I start here, the rule of 72 would take 72 divided by my interest rate of 3.75. So on my calculator, I'm just going to say 72 divided by 3.75. And that should take about 19.2 years to double that investment. So that means that $5,000 in just over 19 years would be worth $10,000. If you only put $2 in 19 years, you'd have $4. It would double. Doesn't matter how much money you put in there. So let's look at these other questions. Use the rule of 72 to estimate how long it would take the following investments to double in value. Now, one key word in here is estimate. These are just estimates. We're saying this is how long it should take, all things being considered, to approximately double our money. So now we're saying $6,000 invested at 4% compounded annually. We don't care how much we're investing. It's just 72 divided by the 4%. Crunch the number in your calculator, 72 divided by 4, and it should take approximately 18 years for any amount of money to double at 4% compounded annually. $6,000 would turn to $12,000, $10 would turn to $20. The next question, $1,000 invested at 2.45% per annum compounded annually. We don't care about how much money, just 72 divided by 2.45. So again, 72 divided by 2.45 is approximately, and we'll round it to one decimal place, 29.4 years it would take at that interest rate. So the lower the interest rate, as we can see, this first question here had a 4% interest rate. It took 18 years. This guy has a way lower interest rate, and it's taking quite a bit longer to double that money. Now here, even 1.95%, even less interest. How long is it going to take $1,000 to become $2,000 or double? So we're saying 72 divided by the 1.95%. So again, in your calculator, 72 divided by the 1.95. And you're getting approximately 36.9 years. 37 years it's going to take if you're only getting 1.95% interest for your money. Again, it doesn't matter how much money you put in, it's going to take about 37 years to double. So we can see as the interest rate goes down, the length of time it takes for you to double your money goes up. Now the last question kind of takes a little spin on what we've been talking about. If you wanted to double your money in 15 years, what interest rate would you need to invest? So now we're saying, here the equation was the time it takes equals 72 divided by the percentage. So now our information's a little bit different. We're saying the time we want to double is 15 years. 72 over some interest rate we don't know. Now this is going to require us to know how to do some cross multiplication. Now cross multiplication, 15, we could put any number over 1 and that would keep it the same number. So we're getting 15 over 1 equals 72 over some percent we need to know. Cross multiplication, do a cross. Any line that has two numbers attached to it, we multiply. So 72 times 1. And then the other line that has just one number attached to it, that's what we're going to divide by that number. And that's going to give us the percentage we're looking for. So it's important that we know how to cross multiply. So in our calculators, we could say 72 times 1, but we know 72 times 1 is just 72. And we divide that by 15. The interest rate we'd require to double our money in 15 years now is 4.8%. So we just had to play around with this formula and cross multiply. It might be useful to show another example for this kind of situation. I'll make it up right here. We're saying how long or what percentage, what interest rate do we need to double our money in, let's say, 30 years. So if we wanted to do that, we'd start with the same rule of 72. The time equals 72 divided by some interest rate, which we don't know. The time now we're saying is 30 years. We want to double it in 30 years. So 72 divided by percent. 30, we could put over 1 as a fraction. That's 30 over 1. Cross multiplying now, we look at the line on the cross that has two numbers attached. So that's 72 times 1. And we're going to divide by the lone number on the other stick, which is 30. And this would tell us our percentage. So again, 72 times 1, we know is 72. So we're just going to say 72 divided by 30. Well, that would tell us an interest rate of 2.4% would take us about 30 years to double our investment. So that's the rule of 72.